On this episode, I definitely connected with Mia in a different way. I didn't know if I was going to really like her, but I definitely found some similarities between Mia and myself. All right, let's go ahead and get into the review. Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Kamira, and this is my review for Real Housewives of Potomac, Season 6, Episode 3. It's titled Jiminy Crickets. I wasn't really sure if I was going to review Potomac, but after watching tonight's episode and kind of hearing more about Mia, I wanted to go ahead and record my response and my commentary to the episode. All right, so it opens up with Robin, trying to get the boys ready for virtual learning. And the one was like, Robin, are the guys up? Are the boys up? And I was just like, well, Juan, why can't you make sure the youngest one was up for virtual learning if you're already up? Like, do y'all both need to be signing him on? I didn't get that part. So anyway, she go back to sleep. One was just like, do something, get up. Da, da, da. Now, Robin, she was like, it's a pandemic. He said, I'm tired of your excuses. I'm just like, dang, he don't seem like loving, affectionate. I mean, she could really be like depressed, because at some point she says that she's burnt out and she has just like lost her motivation. And I'm pretty sure there are so many people, or male or female, that kind of have felt the same way throughout the pandemic. So like, show her a little grace. Now, I will say this. When it comes to like Juan and Robin, I find it interesting, like the parts that they are choosing to show, because it's kind of still pushing this narrative that like, y'all never will get married and he don't really like you. So y'all are kind of like showing these moments instead of like trying to change the narrative about y'all relationship. Because think about like Candace, she's trying to like change the narrative of her being like a brat to like being this mom and like, entertainer or whatever. So like, you can choose what you want them to record of you guys. But okay. Next we see Karen and Ray getting ready for her little Dom online like call with some customers to discuss how she has glueless wigs now, which is pretty cool. They talk about how she named them Queen and Kim, and how you can go from the boardroom to the bedroom. I mean, okay. And then next we see Ashley and Giselle meet up. And okay, let me say this. I feel like Giselle can definitely dish it out, but cannot take it, because she's always in everybody's business and has commentary about everything, everybody. But as soon as she kind of get it back, oh, she can't take it. But anyway, so her and Ashley meet up at a restaurant. They want to discuss her plans, after the baby. Does she want to like, be kind of in a house cooped up, or like, be a little bit more free than she was on her first pregnancy? Giselle says Michael makes her nervous, because we know, when she had baby Dean, there was like a cheating scandal or whatever going on at that time too. But Ashley says, you know what? I want to go ahead and give him the benefit of the doubt, because she's probably not going to leave him unless she knows for sure how much money she might get. I'm just saying. But anyway, Giselle was just like, what about, him and the nanny? And I was just like, Giselle, if somebody had that same energy for you and Jamal, you would have an issue. You would think somebody is attacking y'all. So like, girl, calm down. I like Giselle, but girl, calm down. She has something to say about everybody, and it's a little bit like annoying. I can't even lie. Anyway, they discuss Mia and her having her, her clit worked on. Can I say that word? Oh, Lord. They also discuss how Mia said that Giselle is just a pretty face. And Giselle is just like, am I a beautiful soul or a pretty face? Just, make up your mind. Giselle, the jury is still out, in my opinion, when it comes to you, because you messy. But anyway, and I wrote down, oh, Ashley gonna tell your business. She gonna be the bone carrier and she don't care. Next, Giselle talked about, when she was pregnant, people want to just see the twins. Didn't really care to see her. But she wants to have a pamper party for Ashley. And I think that's a really good idea. I like how they do kind of seem to have a maybe it's a genuine friendship. I hope it is, because you know you need good friends, and I think it's a good idea. So they do decide to go ahead and invite Karen and Mia because Ashley does want them there. Next scene, we see Robin at her storefront warehouse packaging up orders for her company, and she's there with her friend Ascala. And I'm wondering, will she be an additional housewife, like with the, they don't get peaches, what's the Potomac thing, I don't know, but like will she have a real spot on the cast is my question. But she invites Ascala to the pamper party for Ashley. Wendy stops by. They are both African. Ascala is Ethiopian, and we know Wendy is Nigerian, so they have that in common. Robin says her business is booming and she definitely is going to need more space. Wendy talks about how she has candles, and Robin was just like, wait, Professor Wendy, Dr. Wendy, you know, commentator, you want to do candles? Like, what? I was like, they all just shady to each other, like, for real, for real. But I did notice, like, online, Wendy is talking about her candles, but, like, Mia has candles that you could buy right now. I know one of them is called, like, Karma, and the other one's just, like, Don't F With Me. But like those are her two candles that you can buy like right now. I thought that was just crazy because you heard Wendy talk about it. You went on ahead and did it, and I was just like, get your coin. They discussed Karen's event. It kind of goes then to Mia at home with her husband G. She got the text about the Pamper Ashley party, and she tells him about Wendy and how she feels like she feels like her husband is scared of Wendy. She was like, let that man be free. And her husband also does like Wendy's husband, Wendy. I said Wendy? Eddie. Then they cut back, you know, to like Wendy talking about the whole situation and her giving her version. She says she's in win, but girl, no you're not. Ascala asks what to expect, and Robin says that Karen gonna be drinking. And I was just like, that's the only thing you could have gave her about this group. I could have gave her a few other things to say. But anyway, Wendy says, you know what? Oh, they get into Robin asking Wendy about, well, why was you trying to like really defend Karen at the party, at her the nude interlude party? She was just like, I didn't want her to feel ganged up on. And Robin was just like, well, you should have had our back because, you know, their history is just not great. Long story short. Next scene, we see Candace and the kids, the step kids. You know, Chris was getting his bar together, and she kind of feels like having the kids around, she may not suck at being a mom. I think she would not suck either. I think she might be a good mom. Chris is getting the bar together, and it was so funny because Candace did an impression of her mom, and it was kind of like spot on, in my opinion. She discussed her having a meeting with Karen. Her mom was just saying, be careful. She discussed how Chris is going to be her manager. Her mom was just like, good luck. How it reminded me of Jamie, That's Me. How she be like, good luck. It is so funny. It reminded me of that. But anyway, she tells her like, you know, think about a man who's gonna quit his job. And Kansas was just like, stop assuming things about like our finances, our household, whatever. Does Chris have a job? Is he, I know he was doing the online cooking stuff. Is he like the instructor or he like a student? Like which one? I'm a little confused on that. Next, we see Karen and Wendy go to Karen's house. They're in her basement to discuss, you know, them moving forward. Wendy's gonna go talk to Karen because she has like different businesses and she kind of also wants to get into candle making. They discuss, you know, mentorship, the packaging. She smelled the candle. She gave Karen an example of the candle. I think it was called Onye or Onye. I guess an African term. I don't know what it meant per se, but it was definitely a African, maybe Nigerian term. That's the title of the candles. Karen had a good question for her though, like, why would someone pick your candles over other candles that would be in a store? But I feel like with it being like you on a TV show, they'll probably just pick yours because you're Wendy. They're gonna get it from like your website, not like at an actual store, especially at like this point anyway, right? Okay, this next scene was a little slick emotional for me, but I'm gonna get through it. And yeah, so next we see Mia and her husband G. They discuss, you know, her kids, how she has shared custody with her oldest son, and they show her other son. And so I guess this was filmed around Valentine's Day, and they spent Valentine's Day with her mom. They discussed, we get some more background on Wendy. Please bear with me talking about this because, yeah. Mia's parents, her mom and her dad, both had drug issues. And there would be times where she would not have contact with her mom for like, you know, years at a time. She remembers, you know, being, you know, on Christmas Eve, kind of like waiting for her mom to come, and she didn't. She didn't show up. She said she basically did not have a mom. And she wants to think that her mom is doing the best that she can. And, you know, her husband was very supportive. He said, you know what, try to give her some time, you know, and, you know, let's see how things turn out. I say that it was a little bit emotional to watch that because both of my parents also have drug addictions. And with my mom, it's kind of the same thing. I'm kind of like fearful to kind of like bring up how I feel because she could maybe go relapse and I would feel responsible for that. So it's never really been where I could just talk openly about how I feel about anything. And it was definitely like years at a time that we wouldn't be able to talk. Anyway, I appreciated how her husband was supportive. Anyway, next we see Karen at Candace's house. I noticed that there was like no hug. Okay, I wrote a lot of notes, but like, long story short, Karen, you know, she does regret missing some of Candace's, you know, milestones or whatever. And, you know, she does want to repair things, but Candace is still upset because Karen decided to be neutral when it came to her and Monique last season. For some reason, it feels like Candace needs this from Karen, and Karen just cannot give it to her. But Karen did say, you know what, you were hurt emotionally, physically, psychologically, and I was hurt as well. But just like from a, what was it, emotional standpoint, because she couldn't decide, you know, who to be. I mean, they both could have used your support, yes, but like, I mean, I don't know. Okay, Candace, like, Karen is not your mom. Like, I don't really get what you really need for her to say. Karen did say she does not regret, you know, her decision to be neutral. And Candace was just like, well, you know what? I don't trust you. And she's going to still be upset when this whole conversation is done because she did not tell her what she wanted to hear, basically. I just feel like, Candace, you know, you have been in therapy from what you have said, you know, about the situation. You know, you have your mom who has supported you through the whole thing. I don't know why you really need like Karen's you know, like her approval, her support in that way, because she's entitled to feel how she feels about it. I mean, you can agree or disagree, that's your thing, but like, I feel like until Karen says she was wrong, you were right, even though I think she has said that, I don't know, I just feel like, Candace, move on. And I'm not trying to be like insensitive because it was bad, you know, it was pretty bad how that girl drugged you and stuff, but you know, I don't know what she really wants. Like, what is your end goal? And I'm not trying to be insensitive, but like next season, I don't want to hear about Monique or the incident that happened, especially if you're not also saying what you did wrong. Next we see it's time for the pamper party, and I really thought it was a good idea. I feel like they're always having these, like, I guess events to, like, I guess get together to film stuff, because like, do y'all hang out outside of these events? But anyway, we see Candace and Giselle arrive first. They discuss, you know, her meeting with Karen. They recap the conversation, whatever. Next we see Wendy. Everybody else came. Escala came with gifts. Mia came. I noticed that Karen did not speak to Giselle, and for whatever reason, like, Giselle was looking for her to speak to her or acknowledge her. I'm gonna say this too. I said it at the beginning, but like, Giselle, she's not gonna apologize for you. Okay, I've been watching the show for a while. When has Giselle ever apologized for what she has said? So it reminds me of Tisha. You want something that you're not giving. Am I wrong? Like, has she apologized for anything? I don't really think so. But anyway, they had a cute game. You had to guess who. They had a pictures of all the women's pregnant bellies and had to decide, who that was. I thought that was a pretty cool game. They all was able to kind of guess right, or at least what they showed us was them guessing right. So it was pretty cool. Mia and Karen discussed her party and the whole like hand in the face thing. Wendy says, "Don't you ever try me like that again. I had time today." I guess Zen Lynn had time or whatever. Mia says, like, "You were upset because I was uplifting Giselle." But Wendy says, "Well, your issue is with yourself." They get into this whole, thing or whatever. Skylar and Ashley go off to have their spa experience. And Mia says, "Well, obviously, she's unhappy at home." And Wendy was just like, "Well, girl, you the one that had to get your, fixed." So I was just like, oh, Lord. Next, we see Mia and Karen, get into this whole thing about Wendy and how she's supposedly for, women empowerment, but not apparently. But Wendy's saying that she was kind of trying to defend Giselle, but it's just kind of like all lost in translation for me. Honestly, because Giselle was saying that she wants to get to know Mia without Karen or Wendy, but it was just like, y'all were just like, I don't know if they really understand like what's happening fully, because I don't know, their friendships are weird. But anyway, Robin just saying, "You know what, let's try to tread lightly." And Ascala was like, "Well, I heard you drink heavily." Karen was just like, "I do party and I can talk to you on the phone for hours and hours." First of all, I don't think that was a thing to just tell Ascala. Robin, I think you could have definitely given her the rundown on everybody. Maybe we just didn't see it because of editing, but like the whole thing with Karen and drinking was not the first thing that I would tell somebody about Karen. I'm gonna just say that. We discover that Mia was also a stripper, but not on a pole. She says they wore clothes and would kind of, I guess, walk around, dance around. She said her clients paid her for her conversation, and Giselle was just like an escort. She was like, yeah, like an escort. So I guess she was an escort in a previous life. I mean, that could be how she met her husband. Who knows? I appreciated Ascala praying for Ashley and her baby, praying for a safe delivery for a healthy baby. I really appreciated that, because honestly, who else would have done it in that group? Nobody. Anyway, next time we're gonna just see more drama. Like, it was just drama. Drama. Honestly, I like Ascala. I hope she's gonna be a new cast member. They could really get rid of Robin if all we're gonna see is, you follow behind Giselle and like your weird situationship with Juan. Who else could go? I don't know. Ashley and Michael. Yeah. I mean, if he ain't cheating, what we talking about? No, I'm just playing. I don't dislike Ashley either. But anyway. Alright guys, that was my review. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you all on the next one. Bye.